My sister bought a mansion in the Texas hills. Mom raised a glass to toast him. I stood up and said quietly, "Enjoy the night. I'm her landlord." I watched my mother raise her champagne flute so high the Texas sunset turned the liquid gold. "To my incredible daughter Victoria," she announced to the 50 people crowding our parents' backyard, "who just closed on the most beautiful estate in the hill country. 3 acres, infinity pool, wine cellar. My baby girl is a homeowner at 28. The applause was immediate. My sister stood there in her cream-colored Zimmermann dress, her fiancé Brett's arm around her waist, smiling like she'd just won the lottery. I leaned against the live oak tree at the edge of the lawn, beer warming in my hand, watching the performance. "Owen!" Mom's voice cut across the yard, sharp enough to silence the congratulations. "Maybe you could learn something from your little sister. She's building wealth while you're still— What is it you do again? AITA support?" Laughter rippled through the crowd. Polite, uncomfortable. Dad shifted his weight next to the grill. Didn't meet my eyes. I set my beer down on the decorative boulder Mom had installed last year. Walked across the lawn. The crowd parted. "That's a beautiful house, Tori," I said, my voice quiet enough that people leaned in. "The one on Skyline Ridge, right? The Spanish colonial with the courtyard fountain?" Her smile faltered, just for a second. "You've seen it?" "I have." I pulled out my phone. 3 swipes. The property deed filled the screen. "I've seen it every month when I process the rent payment. Or rather, when I don't process it. You're 7 months behind." The yard went silent except for the cicadas. Mom's champagne glass hit the flagstone, shattered. "What are you talking about?" she demanded. I turned my phone toward the crowd. "Victoria signed a 12-month lease on March 1st. The landlord is listed as Crestview Holdings, LLC. That's my company. I own 23 rental properties in the hill country. This one included." I zoomed in on the signature line. "Victoria R. Chen. Dated. Notarized." "This is insane," Tori said, her voice shaking. "Owen, what are you—" "You owe me $49,000 in back rent," I continued, "plus $12,000 in damages from the unauthorized pool renovations, and another $8,000 in HOA violations for the parties you've been throwing." Brett stepped away from her, actually took 3 full steps back. "Tori," he whispered, "you told me you bought it. You showed me the closing documents." "I was going to buy it." Her voice cracked. "The lease has a rent-to-own option." "There is no rent-to-own option," I said. "Your lease is standard, month to month after the first year, assuming you paid the first year. You stopped paying in August." Dad's face had gone the color of uncooked dough. "That's not possible. She's been sending us photos of her mortgage statements." "Those are fake," I said. "Pull them up, Dad. Look at the bank logo." He fumbled with his phone, squinted at the screen. "This says First National Trust of Austin." "That bank doesn't exist," I said. "There's First National and there's Austin Trust, not both." Mom's hand flew to her mouth. I looked at my sister, really looked at her, the designer dress, the Cartier love bracelet, the David Yurman engagement ring that cost more than my first car. "You want to know what I do?" I said to Mom, not breaking eye contact with Tori. "I buy distressed properties at auction. I renovate them. I rent them to people who can't qualify for mortgages yet, people trying to build credit, save for down payments, get their lives together." I swiped to another screen. "Victoria applied to rent from me 11 months ago. She didn't know I owned the company. All the paperwork goes through my property manager. She had a 580 credit score and $18,000 in credit card debt. No bank would touch her." The crowd had pulled out their phones. I could see them Googling the address, searching for property records. "I gave you a chance," I said to Tori. "Fair market rate, clean lease, no family discount but no family penalty either. You were supposed to use this year to rebuild, to actually become the person everyone thinks you are." "Owen, please," she whispered. "Don't do this." I pulled up my email, turned the screen toward her. "That's a 3-day notice to quit. Filed this morning with Hayes County. You have until Wednesday at 5 p.m. to vacate the property. If you're not out by then, the sheriff will remove you." Mom grabbed my arm, her nails dug in. "You can't evict your own sister. She evicted herself when she stopped paying rent and started lying about owning the place." I pulled free. "I'm done being the invisible one, the boring one, the one who doesn't matter because he didn't go to UT Austin or marry a lawyer or buy a house in the right neighborhood." I looked at the crowd, at my aunts and uncles and cousins who'd spent 32 years treating me like the opening act to Victoria's headlining performance. "I own more property than anyone in this yard," I said. "I have a net worth of $3.2 million, and I got here by being the person no one paid attention to while everyone was busy celebrating her. I'd started buying houses 6 years ago right after my divorce from Nicole. She'd left me for her CrossFit coach, cleaned out our joint account, and told everyone at the gym that I was emotionally unavailable and obsessed with spreadsheets instead of people. She wasn't wrong about the spreadsheets. While she was spending our savings on boutique fitness classes and weekend trips to Fredericksburg, I was teaching myself real estate investment through YouTube videos and library books. When she served me with papers, I was 3 months into a real estate wholesaling course. The divorce settlement left me with $78,000 and a Toyota Tacoma with 140,000 miles. I used $35,000 as a down payment on a foreclosed house in Dripping Springs. Spent 3 months renovating it myself. Rented it out for $2,100 a month to a young couple from California. The mortgage was $980. I lived in the Tacoma for 4 months to save the difference. Showered at the gym, ate rice and chicken. Didn't tell my parents because I knew Mom would tell me to give up and find a real job with benefits. By month 6, I had enough for another down payment. By year 2, I had 5 properties. By year 4, I'd incorporated Crestview Holdings and hired Marissa Okonkwo, a property manager who'd helped me scale to 15 units. My family thought I worked IT support because that's what I'd told them when I was doing computer repair on the side to fund the first few deals. They never asked for updates. They were too busy tracking Victoria's Instagram success story. Victoria, who'd graduated from UT with a marketing degree and a trust fund boyfriend. Victoria, who got a job at a boutique PR firm and lasted 8 months before deciding she needed to find herself. Victoria, who'd burned through 3 different business ventures that Mom and Dad funded with their retirement savings. She'd tried a lifestyle blog, a candle company, a luxury resale boutique. All failures, all expensive, but Mom kept writing checks because Victoria has vision and she just needs the right opportunity. Meanwhile, I was the one who helped Dad fix the roof when the insurance wouldn't cover it. The one who paid for Mom's dental surgery when their HSA ran out. The one who covered my nephew's speech therapy when my brother Tim couldn't afford it. I never asked for credit, never mentioned it at family dinners. I told myself it didn't matter. But watching Mom toast Victoria's fake real estate empire while I stood in the shadows, that mattered. After the party imploded, I drove to the property on Skyline Ridge. The Spanish colonial sat on 3 acres of hill country paradise, overlooking a valley that turned purple at sunset. I'd bought it at auction 18 months ago for $680,000. Put another $120,000 into making it perfect. The infinity pool, the outdoor kitchen, the wine cellar Tori loved to photograph, all mine. I let myself in through the side gate. The pool lights were on, casting blue shadows across the limestone patio. Empty champagne bottles lined the outdoor bar. Cigarette butts floated in the fountain. The glass doors to the main house were unlocked. Inside, the damage was worse than my property manager had reported. Red wine stain on the white living room carpet. Professionally installed Berber that cost $8,000. Burn marks on the marble kitchen island. A crack in the custom backsplash. The guest bathroom toilet was running. Probably had been for weeks based on the water damage to the tile. I walked through each room, taking photos, documenting everything. In the master bedroom, I found the closing documents Tori had shown Brett and my parents. Photoshopped purchase agreements with a fake title company logo. Mortgage statements from the non-existent bank. An amortization schedule that listed her monthly payment at $4,200, exactly the amount I'd asked for in rent. She'd built an entire fantasy, and everyone had believed it because they wanted to. My phone buzzed. Text from Marissa. Just got a call from your sister. She's threatening to sue for illegal eviction. Want me to handle it? I typed back, forward everything to legal. I'll call you tomorrow. Another buzz. Victoria, please call me. We can work this out. I'll get you the money. I deleted it without responding. A third buzz. Mom, how could you humiliate your sister like this? In front of everyone? You're destroying this family. I stared at that one for a full minute before typing, I'm not destroying anything. I'm just done pretending to be invisible. I drove home to my actual house, a modest 3-bedroom in Wimberley that I'd bought with cash 2 years ago. No mortgage, no debt, just mine. The silence felt good. The next morning, I met with Catherine Zhang, my real estate attorney, at her office in downtown Austin. Catherine had been with me since property number 3, sharp, methodical, mid-40s, with 16 years of landlord-tenant law under her belt. Tell me you documented everything, she said, spreading the photos across her conference table. Every inch, time-stamped, geotagged. Good. She pulled up the lease agreement on her laptop. She's arguing what, exactly? Her lawyer, I checked my phone, Bradley Morrison with Hill Country Legal, is claiming I never properly served notice of non-payment. Catherine's laugh was sharp. You sent certified mail to her residence, her listed work address, and posted on the property. I have the tracking numbers and the constable's signature. What's Morrison's argument? That the family relationship creates a different standard. That I should have given her more time. Texas law doesn't care about family relationships. Rent is rent. You gave her 7 months. She pulled up a file. I've got the default judgment ready to file if she doesn't vacate by Wednesday. Once that's entered, the sheriff's office handles removal. But Owen, she looked at me over her reading glasses. This is going to get ugly. Your parents will be involved. Maybe your siblings. Are you prepared for that? They've been ugly to me for 32 years, I said, just quietly. She nodded. Then we proceed. Tuesday morning, I got a call from my brother Tim. Owen, what the hell is happening? His voice was strained. Mom called me crying at 6 a.m. She's saying you're throwing Tori out on the street. I'm evicting a a tenant who hasn't paid rent in 7 months. She's your sister. She's a tenant who lied to everyone, including her fiancé, about owning a house. She committed fraud, Tim. Silence. Then, is it really that bad? Come see for yourself. I'll meet you at the property in an hour. Tim arrived in his F-150, his tool belt still on from the construction site. He was the only sibling who'd ever worked with his hands, the only one who'd understand what I'd built. I let him in through the front door. He walked through in silence, taking in the wine stains, the damaged marble, the cigarette burns on the patio furniture. Jesus, he finally said. There's more. I showed him the fake mortgage documents, the photoshopped bank statements, the credit card statements I'd pulled from public records showing $47,000 in debt. Tim sat down on the damaged couch. Mom and Dad gave her money for this. I know. They gave her $50,000 for the down payment. My stomach dropped. When? 2 months ago. She told them the seller was flexible on timing. There was no seller. There was no purchase. She used their retirement money to pay off credit cards and throw parties. Tim's face went red. She spent their retirement on Instagram content. I finished. Every photo she posted from this house, every party, every homeowner life caption, it was all funded by lying to them. He stood up, paced to the window. Does Brett know? He's known since Sunday. He broke off the engagement yesterday. Good. Tim's voice was cold. What do you need from me? Be a witness. When this goes to court, I need someone from the family who'll tell the truth. He nodded. Done. Wednesday, 4:47 p.m. I stood outside the property with Marissa, Catherine Zhang, and Deputy Frank Sullivan from the Hayes County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Sullivan had been doing evictions for 11 years, according to the badge on his uniform. The deadline had passed 13 minutes ago. Mr. Chen, Deputy Sullivan said, checking his tablet. I have the court order here. Are you ready to proceed? Yes. He knocked on the door. Sheriff's Office, Ms. Victoria Chen, you have 3 minutes to open this door or I will enter with the landlord's key. Nothing. 2 minutes passed. Deputy Sullivan nodded at me. I unlocked the door. The house was empty. Not just vacant, empty. The furniture was gone. The art I'd hung, the custom curtains, even the kitchen appliances. She took everything, I said quietly. Marissa walked through, documenting with her phone. The Sub-Zero fridge, the Wolf range, the chandelier in the dining room. Those aren't hers to take, Catherine said. They were here when she moved in. They're fixtures. That's theft, Deputy Sullivan added. We're talking grand theft. This is easily $40,000 in appliances alone. I walked to the master bedroom. Empty closet, empty bathroom. But on the mirror, written in red lipstick, you always were Mom's least favorite. My hands clenched. Marissa appeared beside me. Owen, don't react. Let the law handle it. Deputy Sullivan photographed the message. I'm filing a report. This is criminal mischief in addition to theft. Do you want to press charges? Yes. Thursday morning, I got the call from Detective Amanda Torres with the Travis County Sheriff's Office, Financial Crimes Division. 15 years investigating fraud and property crimes, according to her LinkedIn profile I'd pulled up while waiting for her to run the background. Mr. Chen, we've reviewed your complaint. I need to inform you that your sister filed a counter-complaint yesterday alleging harassment and illegal eviction. I have documentation proving— I know, I've seen your attorney's filing. Ms. Zhang is thorough. Detective Torres's voice softened. What I'm calling about is your parents. My chest tightened. What about them? They're listed as co-applicants on a reverse mortgage application your sister filed 3 weeks ago for their house. The room tilted. She what? Victoria Chen attempted to take out a $420,000 reverse mortgage on your parents' home using forged power of attorney documents. The application was flagged by the lender when they ran the title search and found discrepancies. Are my parents in trouble? No, they're victims, but they need to file a police report, and they need to do it soon. The DA's office is building a case against your sister for multiple counts of fraud. The fake mortgage documents, the stolen property from your rental, the forged POA, it's all connected. What's the penalty? If convicted on all counts, 5 to 15 years. Restitution of all stolen property and funds. She's looking at serious time, Mr. Chen. I drove to my parents' house at sunset. Mom answered the door, eyes swollen from crying. Come to gloat? She said. I came to tell you Tori tried to steal your house. Her face went blank. I walked past her into the living room where Dad sat with paperwork spread across the coffee table. Detective Torres called you? I asked. Dad nodded. We're filing a report tomorrow. She forged your signatures, I said. Tried to take out a reverse mortgage. If it had gone through, you would have lost the house within 2 years. Mom sank into the couch. That's not possible. I handed her the documents Detective Torres had emailed. The application, the forged power of attorney, the notary who'd been paid $500 to sign off without verifying identities, $50,000 for a fake down payment, I said. Another $420,000 she was trying to steal using your house. She was building an exit strategy, Mom. The appliances she took from my property, she listed them for sale on Facebook Marketplace. She's liquidating everything. Dad's hands shook. Where is she? I don't know. Her phone's disconnected. Brett says she cleaned out their joint account and disappeared. You did this, Mom said, her voice breaking. You pushed her too hard. You humiliated her. I enforced a lease. You destroyed her. I looked at my mother, at the woman who'd spent 3 decades praising one child while dismissing the other. No, I said quietly. She destroyed herself. I just stopped enabling it. She's your sister. She's a criminal who stole from me, from you, from everyone who trusted her. And the only reason she got away with it as long as she did is because you couldn't see past her Instagram posts. Silence. How much is she into you for? Dad finally asked. $69,000 in rent and damages, another $40,000 in stolen appliances, plus whatever she took from your retirement. We don't have that kind of money, he whispered. I know. That's not why I'm here. I pulled out a folder. This is a financial protection plan Catherine put together. You freeze your credit, you file the police report, you get a restraining order, and you let the DA prosecute. You want us to send our daughter to prison? Mom's voice rose to a shriek. I want you to stop being victims, I said. I want you to protect yourselves, because if you don't, she'll come back and do it again. And next time, you won't have a house to lose. Victoria was arrested 6 days later at a hotel in San Antonio, trying to check in with a credit card in our father's name. The charges: identity theft, grand theft, forgery, fraud, criminal mischief. Bond was set at $200,000. She called me from jail. I don't know how she got my number. I'd blocked her everywhere. Oh, and please, I need help. I need someone to post bond. I listened to her cry for 30 seconds, then hung up. She called back immediately. I blocked the jail number. Catherine called an hour later. The DA wants you to testify at the grand jury. They're building a comprehensive case. Financial records, witness testimony, forensic evidence. It's solid. When? Next month. Can you do it? Yes. The grand jury hearing took 4 hours. I testified about the lease violations, the stolen property, the damage to the rental. I submitted documentation, lease agreements, payment records, photo evidence, text message chains showing Victoria knew exactly what she was doing. Marissa testified about the property management, the multiple warnings, the documented non-payment. Detective Torres testified about the broader fraud pattern, the forged documents, the attempted reverse mortgage. An FBI forensic accountant, Special Agent David Park, 12 years with the Bureau's Financial Crimes Unit, testified about the paper trail showing Victoria had been running similar scams on friends, other landlords, even her college roommate from 5 years ago. The grand jury deliberated for 47 minutes. Indictment on all counts. Trial date set for 8 months out. In the meantime, I renovated the Skyline Ridge property. New appliances, new fixtures, repaired all the damage. I listed it for sale at $1.2 million. It sold in 3 days to a tech executive from California. After closing costs and capital gains, I cleared $310,000. I used it to buy 2 more properties. The trial lasted 4 days. Victoria's public defender, court appointed because she had no money for private counsel, tried to argue that the family relationship created a different standard, that I'd targeted her maliciously. The prosecution brought receipts, literal receipts, credit card statements showing Victoria's spending, hotel records from trips she'd taken with Brett on my parents' credit card, Facebook Marketplace screenshots showing her selling my appliances. The jury deliberated for 2 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing: 8 years in state prison, restitution of $543,000 to multiple victims, including me, my parents, and 3 former friends. She'd be 56 when she got out. Assuming good behavior knocked it down to 6. 1 year later, I stood on the deck of my new house, not a rental, my personal residence, overlooking Lake Travis. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, built-in home office with views of the water, paid in cash. My phone buzzed. Text from Tim. Family dinner at Mom and Dad's on Sunday. You coming? I'd been to exactly 2 family dinners in the past year. Both times, Mom had made comments about what I'd done to Victoria. Both times, I'd left early. I typed back, maybe. Let me check my schedule. Another text. This one from Marissa. Tenant moved into the Dripping Springs property. First month's rent cleared. Portfolio's at 31 units now. Nice work, boss. I smiled. A third text. Number I didn't recognize. This is Catherine Zhang. Just got notice that Victoria's appealing the restitution amount. Claims she can't pay from prison. Thought you should know. I looked out at the lake, at the sunset turning the water gold. I typed back, let it go through collections. I'm not in a hurry. Because the truth is, I didn't need Victoria's money. I'd made more from that property sale than she'd stolen from me. What I'd needed was for everyone to stop pretending. To stop pretending she was successful. To stop pretending I didn't exist. To stop pretending that family meant enabling someone to destruction. My phone buzzed one more time. Mom, please come on Sunday. I made your favorite pot roast. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed, I'll be there, but we need to talk. Really talk. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Okay. Not an apology. Not an acknowledgement. Just okay. It was a start. I set the phone down and watched the sun sink below the hills. Victoria had said I was Mom's least favorite, written it in lipstick like a curse. She was probably right, but but I'd stopped needing to be anyone's favorite the day I realized I could be my own.